We'll wait no longer. We'll bring on Dr. Jacqueline Thomas.
Yay.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here today. I really am. And you know, it's interesting what Ms. Terry was saying, because she pegged me, and we wear our signature with everything we do before we even talk, before we even open our mouths. People know what we are about. They get a sense of what's going on. I mean, you'll get the details as the person talks, but you get a sense as to whether you want to be there or not, or whether you believe anything they say, or all those things. Always, always, always trust that sense. Always. No matter what. Because there are going to be times when you may have that sense that may go against the crowd, or go against the grain, or even go against your family, because they're focused. And it's not a matter of a right or wrong. It's just how God, and I'm going to speak God. You're going to hear me say it. Won't?
Amen.
It's just a matter of how God wants you to go in your life. Honor that. Honor that, because He speaks to all of us. Sometimes here, a lot of times here. Trust Him. Thank you. Okay. Before I start talking about me, what I'd like to do is to just go around the room and have each person, if it's okay for you, just give your name, whatever you want us to know about you and why you're here. Is that okay? Can we do that? Would you do that for me?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Would you start for us, please?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name, and I do apologize for being a little bit late this morning, but my name is Sherry Kell, and I am the director and founder of the Community Enrichment Fitness Network, which is a health and wellness organization dedicated to empowering individuals who want to make a permanent healthy lifestyle change. And so I'm here because I was invited by KT Terry, and when I saw the flyer, saw your name, I was like, oh, she's been responsive for one of my events. I do health and wellness event, and I have a senior health expo coming up. And I was just so excited because I never heard you speak in person. So this will be a treat for me.
Awesome.
Because you've always taken out ads in my ad booklet.
Yeah.
So anything regarding natural health and natural that, I'm just here to support it. So thank you. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Background. Who the heck am I? All right, I'm a former classroom teacher. I taught public school for 20 years. And I loved it. I taught students who had special needs, started out in middle school, and then, and this was before they started middle school 6 through 8. It was elementary, K through 6. So I then got out of middle school or junior high, ended up in elementary school, 6th grade, and I loved that grade. I loved it because when they're at that age, 12-ish, 11, 12-ish, they're just getting a sense of the world, and I could have a conversation with them that made sense. They could tell jokes, I could tell jokes, they got it. And we just had a great time. But what happened was I got this thing in my gut, this feeling in my gut that says, it's time to go. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding. Now, I recognize this when I get this in my gut. I recognize where it's coming from. I recognize and know where it's coming from. And I got this thing in my gut that says it's time to go. And I'm like, no, because I was raised in a household where my parents believed that when you got a good job, you stayed there forever until you die, and then you retire and you collect a pension, Social Security, right off into the sunset. And that's what I believed. So when I got that, it's time to go, I'm like, no, I'm not having it. But it didn't stop, it got louder. So I said, okay. So, after 20 years, I was able to take a sabbatical. All right? So I'm like, I'm taking a sabbatical because I need to kind of get this thing sorted out, figure out what's going on. And in getting the sabbatical, taking a sabbatical, what happened was that gut message got louder. It got louder. And it was to the point where I could not ignore it. I couldn't ignore it. So I said, all right, I just had to suck it up. Now I understand that I have free will, and we all have free will, and we can pretty much do whatever we want. But I have known and learned that when I get a God thing, pay attention, honor it. And I knew that that's what that was. So I'm like, but I was scared. But it was relentless. So this was when the school board was on the Parkway, Ben Franklin Parkway. So I went down to the Parkway, and I went in, told the receptionist what the deal was. She took me back into Human Resources. I explained to the representative there what the deal was, what I wanted to do, and she laughed. And I'm like, what are you doing laughing? This is serious. And she laughed because she recognized that I was vested, I had tenure, and it's not about me resigning, it's about retiring. And I'm like, oh. Now, I wasn't old enough, of course, to collect a pension, but I had enough time in that I could have everything vested. So that's what I did. I resigned and retired, so to speak. So now I'm like, okay, so now what am I going to do? So I got this idea. I'm going to open up a health food store. And I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to do an apprenticeship with someone who had a health food store at 10th and Almy, and I was able to work there, do some things, and so this way I could see what the industry was like. So I had my business plan together, I had my funding, I had the location of where I was going to open the store, had all those things, and realized I can't do this. I can't do this because I'm not the type of person that can stay in one store, one location, 10, 12, 14 hours a day, every day. So I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. And of course, again, it took another level of bravery. And I said, I gotta get a job. So now, what did I do next? I ended up a manager in the pharmaceutical industry. Now, at that point, I was not a naturopath. I had not begun to study, but I was definitely into herbs. I was a vegetarian, and I had that interest because of my desire to have the store. But next thing you know, I'm a part of the pharmaceutical industry. But you know what? I loved it. And the reason why I loved it was because there are good people that are there, but it's an industry, and if you want to be in that industry, there are certain rules you need to follow. And so therefore, I understood that. They knew where I came from. I didn't hide it, but I learned how to still navigate and keep my mouth shut, listen, pay attention, ask the right questions, and learn a lot. And there's a few things that I learned in that experience. Number one, and it's not listed in according to importance, it's just how I am sharing. Number one, every medication, every last one, whether it's prescription or over the counter, every last one has side effects. No exceptions, no exceptions. The ones over the counter are side effects that we can kind of manage, and we pretty much have control over how much we take and not take based on the package information. But all of them have side effects without exception. Second of all, there will always, always, always be animal testing. There will always be animal testing. They used to call them, I don't know if they still do, but they call them dog trials. And there will always be animal testing. And I understand it really bothered me, but I had to Had to suck it up and deal with it. The third thing that I learned in that experience is that, and I'm saying this, and I want to say it in a way that's non-judgmental, is that their criteria is different from our criteria as the user. Their criteria from the business end is to get and keep customers. Our criteria from the user end is to get healed and cured from things. Okay? And it's not that they hide it. They don't hide it. It's very much a part of what they do and how they share. But it's just know that their perspective, their position is very different from ours as the user. So once I got that, I'm like, okay. I was in that environment, and they knew what I was about, but they put me up in charge of management and research and development stuff to teach their employees, and I'm like, what the world? You know, I'm like, God, come on. So I was in that environment for 10 years, okay, 10 years. And then I got that, it's time to go. And I'm like, okay, all right. Okay. So I'm like, so now what's next? What's next? And simultaneously, there was something offered to me in the healthcare field as an administrative supervisor in healthcare. So I was on the business end, although I was involved in projects that got into, what I'm trying to refrain from, because on camera, is naming names, because they're all the same. It really is, they're all the same. But to get to, I was involved in projects, weight loss surgery was one of the main projects that I was involved in when I was there. But my focus was mainly administrative and not patient care. So I came in naive, and I'm like, okay, so why am I here? I did my work, did what I needed to do to handle whatever projects I needed to do, understanding the administrative part of healthcare. And again, I learned these are good people, but it's a system that has certain rules that those who are in it, especially doctors, especially them, they have to follow the rules. As much as their conscience would tell them that they want to do something else, if they want to be there, they have to follow the rules. And the rules are about, it's revenue driven. It's really, truly revenue driven. When I was with a particular project with the Department of Surgery, I was naive. I go and I'm thinking, my first meeting, that we're going to talk about how we can better service patients and blah, blah, blah. That's not what we talked about. What we talked about was how we could outreach to certain areas in the city and outside of the city based on the type of insurance that the person or the groups of people had. And I watched and I saw doctors who were department heads. If they didn't bring in their quota, they were demoted and replaced, and then depending upon what they decided to do, sometimes they were pushed out. I know of one right now, I'm definitely not going to mention this doctor's name in reference to, and if you ask me off camera, then I'll tell you, who never really got involved in that, but he has his private practice, medical doctor, and I can't tell you the number of times that he was raided by the FBI and things like that, because you gotta follow the script. All right? So then, at this point, I was definitely involved in learning herbs and things like that, and then becoming a naturopathic physician. And the naturopathy, as what the field is called, includes everything that you guys talked about. There's no one thing, and I had to study all of it. Herbs, nutrition. I can't tell you the number of anatomy, physiology classes, homeopathy, aromatherapy. What else? Yes, yes,
Chemistry.
yes, yes, all of it, all of it, all of it. And I had to write case studies and all of that, but I didn't care because I knew that this is where I needed to be. I knew. And it was when I was in the healthcare field, that's when things began to come together as to why things lined up the way they did in my life. Why? There's no way I could come in front of you guys and teach if I hadn't been a teacher. There's no way I could talk about the industries had I not been in them and experienced them to bring me to where I am now. So I am eternally grateful for all of that, every last bit of it, because it has helped me to be who I am, what I do, and to help service community to the best of my ability. So I became a naturopathic physician. It took me 5 years, and what I did was I took a 7-year program because when I'm on a mission, I'm like, oh, it's crunch time. And I took a 7-year program and I crunched it into 5. I was living, eating, sleeping naturopathy every day, and I was working a full-time job. Yeah, but you know what? When you're determined, you do what you need to do, and I was determined. So not only did I get the doctorate of naturopathy, but also certified nutritional counselor and master herbalist from Trinity, because you can tell I enjoy doing this. I've been a naturopath now for 10 years and practiced in Philadelphia. And for the beginning of my practice, my focus was primarily nutrition and herbs and aromatherapy, homeopathy, so forth, because that's what I knew and that's what I was familiar with. But I had a group of clients who did everything right. They ate right. When they had health challenges, they took herbs, and everything worked out for them to a certain point. And then they would either plateau or regress. And I'm saying, there's got to be something else I need to be able to offer. And I didn't know what it was. So a girlfriend of mine said, why don't you come with me to hear about this energy medicine thing called Body Talk? And I'm like, yeah, all right, okay. So I went to a free workshop and heard about it, and I said, oh, this is interesting. Now, I'm skeptical. That's my nature. I'm a skeptic. And I hear what you said, but I'm going to do my own research. So I heard what the presenter was saying. The presenter came in from Michigan, was brought in by a woman that I was familiar with. Didn't know her well, but was familiar with. She brought him in, and I'm listening to him, and I'm like, yeah, okay, this makes sense. But at first, I'm like, did he make this up himself? Is this something he created? Which is okay. But I needed to know more. So I got the information, I went online, and I'm like, snap. This is not a little penny anything. This is worldwide. This is across the planet in over 50 countries. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is huge. And as I read more and learned more, I said, you know what, this is a direction I need to go. And so the first thing I did was attend a class, and at the end, I'll give you the information about Body Talk, because I don't want to stray too far from our purpose. So so there was a class in Body Talk being offered in New York, and I said, okay, let me go. Let me check this out. It was called Body Talk Access. And in that class, it's set up so that anybody can take it. It doesn't even have to be a person who is a professional. It's designed for the lay people, because as much as our health system healthcare system has its challenges. There are a lot of countries in this world that has access to no healthcare at all, at all. So the folks who created and developed Body Talk designed a one-day class so that anybody could learn it. You didn't have to be a medical professional or a doctor or an herbalist. Anybody could learn these 5 techniques that will help balance out a person's body 50 to 60%. So I'm like, yeah, this sounds good. Hadn't done my research. I said, let me do this. So I went to the class. I went and took the class in New York. And that class was full. There was about 60 people in that class. And I'm like, okay. So we learned the techniques. We practiced on each other and all of that. And then at the very end, the instructor said, I want to do a full Body Talk session on someone in this room. So we're like, okay. So we put our names on a piece of paper, put it in a container, and he said, I'm going to pull a name out. And when it came time for him to pull a name out, this woman from the side came up, walked to the front of the room, and at the front he had a massage table. He walked to the front of the room, she walked up, and she says, you're not pulling a name out from anybody. You're going to do the session on me. And I knew her personally, and I knew what was going on. So we looked at each other, and we're like, so we agreed, we said, all right. And so the instructor did the session on her, and he nailed exactly what was going on with her, nailed it. She was livid, and I don't know what was in her mind, but anyway, she was livid. She got up off the table. We were in a hotel, in a conference room in the hotel. She got up off the table, walked out the conference room, walked out the hotel, and was gone. That's how I said, I need to learn this. I need to learn this. So then I went on and studied and became certified and what have you. And I enjoy it because it helps to bring together the pieces of us being more than just this physical body. We are spirit. We're energy spirit beings above and beyond this physical. We need this physical to navigate this earth plane, but we're more than this. And it's a matter of being able to maintain this so that when we come here, when we do what we do, we come here because every last single individual, no exceptions, comes with a purpose and a mission, without exception. Sometimes the mission may be just to learn some things for their life, to help their immediate family, to help their next door neighbor, to help their community, to help a larger group. So at that point I knew I needed to do it. So then I really worked and did certain things to become certified. And then I said, you know what? Those 5 techniques, Body Talk, Access, I want to be able to teach those so that I can share these with folks so that they can improve their health, themselves. Because the tagline to my practice is, become the master of your own healing. All right? So I became a certified Body Talk Access instructor. And here's my website and phone number, and I'll give you all that stuff when we're finished. Okay, so now let's get down to the nitty gritty, and we're gonna move. I have here, what are herbs, what are spices? The FDA does not look at herbs as medicines like we do. It looks at herbs as food. And in that food category, herbs are divided into 2 groups, herbs and spices. When they're used medicinally, there's not much difference. It's just the properties that they have. But in the food industry, they are really divided into 2. So I wanted you to know the difference, that there's really no difference, but that you'll understand that they're many times synonymous. They mean the same thing, but it's just how the FDA categorizes them as foods. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
Now, what part of the herb is the most powerful?
It depends on what you want to do. Because someone who has a health challenge that's really, that they're really sensitive, but their system is sensitive, And a leaf or the herb part would be more powerful, will be very powerful for them because of the sensitivity of their system. But someone whose system is stronger and they want to do some cleansing, then they can handle the root. So it really depends on the person and their constitution. When I got into herbs, I didn't read the package. I read the package, but I didn't read the package. You know what I did?
Oh, I love it.
All right? And you could tell, look, this falling apart.
Yes, that's a great book.
All right?
What is it?
It's called Back to Eden.
Must have.
And then when Jethro Kloss and his group came out with the revised version,
Yes, I have it.
all right?
Must have.
Okay, so those are my starter books. But wait, there's more. I didn't just stop there. I got this. I have a lot of them. I just brought some samples.
Yeah.
This. And planetary herbology. Okay. And I had someone challenge me. And you know, sometimes the challenges are the most important things that help push you in a different direction or push you in a way that you need to go. I had someone challenge me and say that herbs were, I'm just going to say what they said, devil worship, and that it's not, you know. And I mean, you know, if that's where your mind is, you can make more than devil worship. So, but what I did was, oh, okay, I just listened and shared what I need to share. But then I got this one, Herbs of the Bible.
Yeah.
Okay? So feel free when we finish to come and look at these. So the idea is read, read, read. And you're going to see me say that again. Okay, so now I'm going to just give you some samples, some examples of single herbs and what they do. Mint, nausea, gas, vomiting. Not shit. Okay. And this mint is the leaf of the plant, and it includes peppermint, spearmint, wintergreen. And then sage, also the leaf of the plant. Tonsillitis, and I just put down a few of their properties: tonsillitis, ulcers, expel worms. Now, you know, you got to be a strong mamma jammer to expel worms, but yet it's a leaf.
Oh, the sage leaf?
Mm.
Because I kid you not, I ate one time with some pig feet my aunt made. And I could just, it just felt like, yes, I ate it, it just felt like, you know, parasites just going all over.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And if it felt like it did, there were.
That's what I'm saying, how do I get rid of that? I still get, and I had started getting sensations and then I would break out in the hives and it was a
Our
mess.
body talks to us all the time.
So,
So-
worms, was it worms? Was it pig worms? Roaming around? I'm serious. Sage leaf, is that like something that you take like a tea or?
Or you can do a capsule.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And then hair growth. Oh, also essential oil.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Aloe vera, the leaf part of the aloe vera plant. Cleans out the stomach, colon, liver, kidneys, bladder, spleen. And you know what? When I do a parasite cleanse, because of my reading, I kind of know what to look for. I don't just look at the package and go with that. I have the information because the herbs are listed. And there was a time when I didn't know as much as I know now, so I write it down and I go home and research it. And there was a time when there was no internet. All you had was this, okay?
Okay.
So the fact that there's internet really makes it very convenient and easier to get the information, but you still have to do your research. Okay. Cayenne pepper. that's some awesome stuff. And it's the fruit. And you say, you know what? When you eat, when you get past this, the body loves cayenne. It loves it. Why? Because it heals open wounds. It heals stomach ulcers. So this is just temporary. The foods and the herbs are for the vessel. Okay. Chamomile, insomnia, stomach cramps, headaches. St. John's wort, blood purifier, antidepressant. Henna. You guys know about henna?
I use it for my hair.
Yeah. Have you gone somewhere where they had someone painting tattoos on the person's skin? They're using a henna dye. Yeah. Hair coloring and so forth. Dandelion root. Is that on point? Blood purifiers, skin diseases, eczema. So when I do my parasite cleanse, certain things I look for. That's one of the things I look for. Because I know I can handle it. Because of me having doing it for so long. Echinacea, hot dog. These two, echinacea, I haven't gotten to that. Is that next? Golden seal.
Yes.
All right. Echinacea, blood purifier, infections, expels pus and mucus. Golden seal, laxative, blood purifier, poultice for open sores, ringworm, and eczema. Okay? So it's really them working synergistically together. They can do things by themselves, absolutely. But God didn't make us to be by ourselves. They really want us to work together.
And I can attest that golden seal and echinacea
Yes.
is a very, very powerful blood purifier together. Because to be totally honest with you, I had an ailment that I did not know. I was walking around with mucus all up in my chest and in my system. And I combined the echinacea, the golden seal, lemon, and honey, and I drank it down hot. And the next thing I know, the mucus was coming all up out of my chest instantly. But it was coming out so quickly and so much that I was like gagging. I almost thought that I was going to like just die on my own mucus. That's how much it was coming up. But once it was out of my system, my breathing was so clear, I felt like I was a different person. So that is a powerful combination of getting mucus out of your system.
Absolutely. And the reaction that her body had was not a bad reaction. It was really a signal that says, I'm ready for this. Let's do this. Let's handle it right now. And so therefore it responded and reacted right away. And that's one of the values of herbs, of knowing that sometimes some reactions, some responses you'll get right away. Others may take a little longer. But when your body is ready, it will react and respond. Yes, dear?
Hyssop, the herb that's listed in Psalm 51, is another one that really brings out the mucus.
Yes.
And cleanses you.
Yes.
I've used that and I use it a lot. I just
Yes.
chew on it and it just really
Yes.
rids my body of a lot.
Absolutely.
And that's what, when you read the Psalm, it says he said, clean me with hyssop. And I shall, so it's like right there, like duh.
But people may sometimes, when people don't know, they don't know.
Yeah.
When they don't know, they don't know. So they may think that hyssop is back then and not really understand that it's here and now and today.
Just like frankincense and myrrh.
Yes. Yes.
Love them in my essential oils.
See,
that's what I
Don't you start now.
Girl, look, I need to clean some environments. That's what I do. But anyway, you didn't hear me say that, but that's
Because
true.
that's what I thought. I thought that the herbs was for back then. I didn't know herbs for now.
Absolutely. And they were always all along, and they always will be.
Exactly.
All right? They always will be. And I would guarantee, although I don't know, but I would guarantee that there's a lot of herbs that we don't even know anything about yet. Only because we don't know. Not because they're just coming to the surface or they're just we just don't know. Sherry, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was saying that the golden seal and echinacea is really good when you're having a cold or a cold's coming on, and you just, like you
Knocks
said,
it right
gets
out.
rid of the mucus,
That's right. Knocks it out. Yes, Jimmy.
Teenager. I had that in my house, but I
Mhm.
did a lot of reading on it, and they said they don't really recommend it for children. How do you feel about it?
Because it's the root and it's strong. So for children, it's depending on the child and the circumstance. If you're going to make it a very, very weak tea, or find something else that will do similar response. Because in actuality, the combination of echinacea and golden seal, they really don't recommend that a person take that more than 2 weeks in a row. Because at that point, the body is stable, and then they can do other things to help maintain the stability. So for children, yeah, you have to make the adjustments. That's why I'm glad you brought that up. It's important that we read, okay, and that know that there's no one size fits all. Okay, and that yes, be open to make adjustments and changes, and have your all right, create your own little potions. Yeah, create your own potions.
I see you, red clover.
Yeah. Okay. So now that's the next thing I'm gonna focus on about herbal formula. Oh, now okay, here's one. All right, here's a handout I have for you.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Uh-huh. Oh, there's more.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I had I guess a question / comment.
Uh-huh.
I went inside an urban store a couple months ago, and I was going to buy like a women's multivitamin, and the guy who worked there had asked me if I ever took that brand. I said no. And he said, how do I know if it would work? And I told him I don't know. So he made me put the bottle near my stomach and
Go ahead.
And what else? He told me to take my right hand, put it over my stomach, and if I rock forward, it means take the vitamin, I think, or left to right, it means no. And I wasn't really sure if what I felt was real or not, or if it was just my mind.
He was spot on. He was spot on. You know what he was using? He was using kinesiology. We, as I mentioned earlier, we are more than just this physical body. We are energy spirit beings. And our body has the answers. Because I use kinesiology when I do body talk.
For those who don't know what kinesiology is, could you let us know?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. It's using the muscles of the body. Help me, Sharon. Because I want to make sure I explain it in a way that doesn't make it sound confusing.
I like muscle testing.
That's what it is.
That's what I use.
That's what it is. Muscle testing is under the umbrella of kinesiology. It's using our muscles to give the information, to let us know what's going on. And there's a way to program, or actually we're already pre-programmed to a degree, of being able to ask questions, and that if the answer is yes, for that question, the body will respond in a certain way. If the answer is no, it will respond another way. What he did for you was under the big umbrella of kinesiology called muscle test. Okay? So what he had you do is do this. And so your body already says, okay, so if the answer is yes, that I can do this, then I'm going to lean this way. If the answer is no, I shouldn't do this, then I'm going to lean back this way or whatever. And that's what I do when I do the body talk. I use that kinesiology, but instead of having the body, I just use the person's wrist. All right, okay, you really want to listen? Yes.
That's an excellent description.
Did I handle
You
it?
did.
Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
How do you know if it's just not your mind, instead of your body?
Because there's no separation between mind and body. You know, mainstream medicine separates because that's how they have to diagnose, prescribe, and bill. Sit on that for me. But there's no separation. We are physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. There's no separation. Now, it's okay to doubt because we're human. We're having a human experience. It's okay to doubt. So let me tell you what I do. And I do this all the time. All the time. All the time. I wanted to be able to walk around and have a method that I can use to figure out what I'm going to do, what I'm going to eat, what I should buy, especially produce. And not have to worry about, well, should I not, so forth. And anybody can do this. You want to learn it? All right. So take these 2 fingers. Okay, take these 2 fingers. You got it? You got it, sweetie? I see you back there. Okay, take these 2 fingers. Yes. I use these 2 because that's comfortable for me. This does not mean that this is the only way. But I use these 2 because it's comfortable for me. And I have programmed my body, my energy, that if I ask a question, and if the answer is yes, because I know that my body, my spirit, has wisdom, and you know where the wisdom comes from, it don't come from me. Okay? So I said, when I ask questions, and if the answer is yes, I'm going to rub these 2 fingers together, and I want it to be smooth. All right? So rub it together, and that's smooth. And your body says, okay. It is now it knows that when the answer is yes, that the rub will be smooth. All right? So now, how do you want to know a no? So you're going to tell your body, if the answer is no, I want this to stick. I don't want any movement. So no, and it sticks. And it sticks. It's rough. Okay. Yes. Try it again. Yes. No. All right. Now, here's where you put it to the test. Because trust me, I tested this over and over. Because I told you I'm skeptical. I want you to. Okay. Miss Terry?
KT's fine.
KT. Okay. Can you give us a piece of information about you that you know nobody knows whether it's true or not?
No one in here at all?
No one here at all. Whether it's something you have for breakfast, your favorite color, your whatever.
Okay.
And then say it. And then what we're going to do is test. And it doesn't have to be true. You can make something up.
Okay.
All right? All right.
I'm Indian.
What do you get?
Yes.
I got no.
I got
No.
no.
I got no.
I got 4.
I got no.
That's okay. So what's the answer?
I am part Indian.
Yeah, see, I got it. Yeah, see, now, I want you to understand that because you didn't you didn't get it, doesn't mean it's a problem. What you do is you try it again, and again, and again. Someone else give me a fact or something that you know no one knows whether it's true or false. Just somebody. All right, you want me to, yeah, go ahead.
I'm a high school teacher.
How you do?
I got,
Yes.
we did it for a little while.
Yeah.
No way.
Okay, yes. Are you?
She knows
Smooth. It wasn't a smooth.
I'm not good
It
at
wasn't smooth. That's because
I didn't.
I did substitute high school teaching.
Wow.
So you're not that far off, okay? So what I'm saying to you is practice it. I go into the store and if there's some produce, no, the spirit said be real. All right, I'm gonna be real. DSW shoes, all right? There's 3-4 pair of shoes and I don't know which ones I want. So I say this, and my budget is what it is. So I said, do I get this pair? Yeah. This pair? No. This pair? Yes. This pair? No. and I use it that way. Sometimes if I'm in the supermarket and they have certain things on sale and I want it, and I ask, should I get this? No. And I'm like, all right. I get a little attitude, but I understand it, because know that I still have free will, and I can say, well, I'm going to get it anyway. So you always have free will. But this is a guide. Practice it, use it all the time as much as you can until you get your feel. Now, I program yes and no for smoothness, yes, rough no. You can reverse it and do rough yes and smooth no. It's just however you decide you want to program it. Every single health challenge is more than just the physical body. There are emotional factors, there are mental factors, and sometimes there's some environmental factors as well. So I can say, yeah, you can do this, you can do that, and that will handle the symptoms. Right. But because of how I am, I have my experiences help me to want to get to what's causing it. Let's get to the cause and let's approach it and take care of it from the physical as well as the mental, the emotional, and the environmental. Because that's how we are. We're more than just this physical body. Okay? One thing that I have learned from herbs, not only from my personal use but from clients, is that know that herbs are foods. Okay, they're foods. And trust and know that your body will tell you whether it's too much. It will tell you loud and clear. You'll be able to connect that dot. That said, oh, it's because of the amount of turmeric that I had. I do turmeric all the time. Cups of it, as a tea. So, yeah.
Oh, you mean a cup of tea?
Yeah,
Okay.
but cups. I'll do 1, 2, or I'll get a mug to do like the equivalent 3 cups. Yeah.
But you only put like a tablespoon of turmeric.
No, I put like 3 or 4 tea bags. It's already in the bag, so I put 3 or 4 tea bags. And then if I make it in stir fry, I'll get to you. Yeah, and then I like stir fries. I like to make because they're quick and easy.
Yeah.
And so I just sprinkle turmeric. Now it makes my stir fry yellowish orange. I don't care. And I know that it's excellent for inflammation. Excellent for inflammation. Yes, my dear.
Well, I remember when my mother was living, she used to take like 7 herbs. She used to do 7 teas, like golden seal,
Senna leaf.
Yeah.
Okay.
She took 7 of them.
Right.
And I remember one day she had got this little big black spot on her chest. And just like it came up, it went away.
Came to the surface.
It came to the surface and went away.
Yes.
But the only thing, when she was taking them, she was taking them every day. And her cousin, she had a cousin, she told her now, it's time to stop, because, at a certain time you have to stop. And she didn't. And she wound up losing her appetite. And she couldn't get it back. So that's
Interesting. That's very, very interesting. Interesting. Wow. Yes, ma'am.
I would like to ask about MSM.
Ah, inflammation. Yes. Yes. Glucosamine, drugs, and MSM. I tried to say the name. Yeah, it's 3 things that they usually put together for joint discomfort and pain and rebuilding cartilage. Yes.
So it's useful.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Can you give us the best combination for, best and safest, I would say, combination for detoxing the body? Because everything comes with starting from the beginning, cleaning yourself out to build yourself up. So can you give us the best combination of what it is that you use to detox your body?
I'm going to be honest with you. Wait a minute. I don't know what happened to my video. Okay. There is a company called Nature Sunshine that I use because with my lifestyle, the way it is, to put together herbs and things, I just don't have the time. And I trust Nature Sunshine as a company and have been using them and been with them for eons. So what I do is I go to the website and they have their detox herbs categorized based on what's there. And I see what's there and I say, okay, so which one am I going to do? Should I do this one? 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 So to put together a formula, in fact, that's going to be one of the next things we're going to talk about. There are so many companies that are out there that are good. That can I hold this up?
Yeah. And it's really good. Trader Joe's have for $6.99. Less forever.
What is it?
Stevia.
It's organic
Stevia is a plant.
Yeah.
It's a plant. It's a plant. So one of the properties of stevia, and many others, look it up, but one of the properties is that it sweetens. It just makes liquids and beverages sweet. Okay, so I put this and a little organic maple syrup in my cup of tea. Girl, Now, but I use this and then do the maple syrup. I don't just do maple syrup by itself. No, because the body's going to take that and convert it to sugar. And so I do the stevia and taste it, and then maybe put like a tablespoon of maple syrup to just get it right. But understand, I'm dealing with yeah, like this size. Okay.
What about agave?
Agave, I like agave too. I like agave. Yeah, but it's because of how they're processing
You
it.
can try cane sugar.
Well, it
Cane
says
Cane sugar,
that,
yes.
it says that it neutralizes, it doesn't raise your glucose.
It's better than regular white sugar.
Absolutely.
So does that mean it balances?
See, one thing we have to be mindful of and be careful of, that when we're substituting sweets, we're not going to put, if we do a tablespoon of white sugar, we're not going to do a tablespoon of agave. We're not going to do it measure for measure. It's best to go to, and know that agave is plant-based. It's from the agave cactus plant. All right? But know that and if you're going to do agave, it needs to be raw.
Right.
It needs to be raw because then it hasn't gone through a whole lot of the processing, which helps to convert it to make it like
I
white
go
sugar.
like this. I don't just say the taste, I make it sweet and good so I can eat.
So then what I would suggest that you do is that you back it up with stevia, because your body's going to take that and process it and convert it in the same way that it does white sugar because of the amount that you're putting in. It's not supposed to be measure for measure, that if you use 2 tablespoons of white sugar, you use 2 tablespoons of agave. It should be less, much less, much less. So if it's not giving you the sweetness, then you try your stevia, and then you do that. And then it will give you, and it's not going, you're not going to look for the same exact taste as white sugar. Because it's addictive. I'm just going to put it out there. It's addictive. It's going to just give that sweetness that the tongue, yes. But not in the same way as white sugar. Yes, dear.
I had a lot of questions. My coworker who couldn't come over, I took this question for her. And my husband who was at work, I took this question for him. So let me give my husband's question first. He wanted to know about sinuses and drainages, and I'm just going to mention that here.
B needs a detox. Because if there's stuff going on, sinuses and drainages, we're talking about what KT mentioned earlier in terms of the mucus that was coming out from her, that would be one of the key ways to get started. But also, let me also say this too, and you would know, and you may not, and you don't need to share, but you also need to ask him about how he's moving his bowels. Okay? How he's moving his bowels. Because a lot of times when we're backed up and we have all these impurities and stuff, the body will find a way to get it out to the best of its ability.
Well, in this particular situation, I think it just may be the intake. Sometimes you have to change your diet. So the other thing is, and I've been dealing with him, we do theherbs.com, and we do the herbal detox from that, which is over, I think it's a 40-day, but we take, and we haven't done it in a while, but we do that consistently, and it's the capsules. So, but
That's wonderful.
the other question from my coworker on the street was about gallbladder pain.
Oh, Lord, sweet Jesus.
And so
That person needs to thoroughly change their eating lifestyle completely. Completely. So it's not a matter of what can I take for this pain. Because gallbladder is part of our whole digestive tract. I'm sorry, go ahead.
she did change it, but now I think she's slowly easing her way back. But she did complete, but she said she lost like 80 pounds or something.
This is not something that she's going to do one time and that fixes something. This is an ongoing process. All right?
Change.
Yeah, ongoing. And of course, if you want her to call me, we can, because there's some other emotional things going in there too.
Okay.
In terms of all that.
Can
Yeah,
I
and
say
then I'm going to go
something?
on.
I just wanted to piggyback on what she said, because I had science real bad at one time. And yeah, she said detox is good, but also staying away from their requirements like cheese.
That's his whole issue. I know it's the food.
Yes.
I know it's what it is.
Once
This
you
is
do
my
that,
husband.
oh my God. And then another piggyback on her. One time, I had 10 herbs, and I don't know which one was which, because it was a long time ago.
Yes.
But she told me that I got Bragg's, Bragg's, no, I got Bragg's olive oil.
Oh,
Olive oil, like a pint.
yes.
And she told me to squeeze, and make a pint, and then make a pint of, I suppose, we call those the green lemon limes. Pint of those. She had me take shot, a regular shot glass. After 12, you can eat anything up to 12 o'clock. You take a shot of that, and you take a shot of the right. And you do that, you wind up doing it to 10 o'clock at night, every 15 minutes. And I kid you not, I've had some kidney stones. And I was cleaning my liver and I was cleaning my bone. Or even was she, then she told me to do another one. One is for kidneys and one is for your liver. But I passed out both, so I don't know.
Because that's what your body wanted to get rid of. One thing, when we do things like that, the body doesn't say, okay, I'm just going to target here. It goes everywhere, and it will get rid of whatever needs to go. And in your case, it was the kidney stones, yes.
I was like, oh, and that thing, the lady was like, I said, let me go see what pin herb thing. She said, well, if you don't know, you need to go check that out. But as soon as I did that and I passed it out, I had no more pain.
Yes.
And it went completely away. But then it was another one with, I think it was the olive oil, and you sit it in a white egg, put it in there overnight, like on 12 hours, let it sit, and then it will, no, it was the, lemon, it was the lime, and you cover that lime with, you put an egg in there and make sure it covers the egg, let it sit for 12 hours.
All right, herbal formulas. Herbal formulas aren't just about a bunch of herbs thrown together to make a formula. There's a process, there's a place as to what should be included. There's the key herb, and it sets the purpose for the formula. And then there are supporting herbs that help to support and help the key herbs to do its job better.